Have you ever reached a moment in your life where everything looks normal from the outside, but deep inside, something feels strangely empty? After the age of 40, many people quietly begin feeling this emotional shift. You may still have a family, a career, responsibilities, and people around you, yet a silent question starts echoing within your heart. Is this all life is meant to be? You wake up every morning and continue your routine, but the excitement that once drove you slowly fades away. Things that once seemed important no longer satisfy you in the same way. Success feels temporary. Conversations feel shallow. Even achievements that once made you proud now feel strangely incomplete. And perhaps the most painful part is this: you cannot fully explain these feelings to anyone because outwardly your life may appear fine, but inwardly, your soul feels tired. Many people think this is simply aging, stress, or emotional weakness. But according to deeper spiritual wisdom inspired by Paramahansa Yogananda, something much more meaningful is happening. Around this stage of life, the soul often begins awakening from years of unconscious living. The first half of life is usually spent chasing survival, success, approval, and responsibilities. But after 40, many people begin hearing a deeper inner call. A call for peace, truth, purpose, and spiritual connection. This is why some people suddenly become more reflective, emotional, sensitive, or drawn towards spirituality during this age. Your soul is no longer satisfied with living only for the outer world. It wants something deeper now. And perhaps what you are experiencing is not the ending of life, but the beginning of your real life. There is a silent emotional struggle that begins to appear in many people's lives after the age of 40, yet very few speak about it honestly. A person may continue smiling in front of others, going to work, caring for family, and fulfilling responsibilities. But inside, they feel emotionally disconnected from themselves. It often begins quietly. You suddenly feel tired of pretending to be strong all the time. The things that once excited you no longer bring the same happiness. You start wondering why peace still feels distant even after working so hard for so many years. Some people become more irritated. Some feel lonely even while surrounded by loved ones. Others begin feeling emotionally heavy for no clear reason. Society teaches us how to build a successful outer life, but almost nobody teaches us how to build an inner life. So people spend decades chasing security, money, respect, and approval, believing these things will finally bring fulfillment. But after many years, the heart begins realizing that external achievements alone cannot satisfy the soul. Deep inside, a hidden emptiness slowly appears. Many people become afraid during this phase because they think something is wrong with them. But spiritually, this moment is often the beginning of awakening. The soul becomes tired of living only on the surface. It starts asking deeper questions that were ignored for years. Who am I beyond my roles? Why do I still feel incomplete? What truly matters now? This inner conflict is not a punishment. It is a sacred turning point. The soul is gently trying to guide you away from unconscious living and toward deeper awareness. What feels like emotional confusion may actually be your spirit asking you to finally reconnect with your true self. To understand why this emotional shift happens after 40, we must understand the difference between the ego and the soul. During the first half of life, most people are driven mainly by the ego. The ego constantly seeks achievement, recognition, approval, control, and security. From childhood, we are taught to become successful, respected, and productive. So we spend years trying to prove ourselves to the world. We compare our lives with others, chase goals endlessly, and attach our happiness to external success. At first, this journey feels exciting because the mind believes fulfillment exists somewhere outside us. But eventually, the soul begins feeling exhausted by this constant race. The deeper self realizes that no amount of achievement can permanently satisfy inner emptiness. This is why many people suddenly feel emotionally different after 40. They become more reflective. They begin questioning the meaning of life. Things that once seemed extremely important lose their emotional power. This change can feel confusing because outwardly nothing may appear wrong, yet inwardly everything feels different. According to the spiritual wisdom inspired by Paramahansa Yogananda, human beings are not merely physical bodies living for material success. We are spiritual beings temporarily experiencing human life. And sooner or later, the soul begins longing for deeper truth, peace, and connection with the divine. This is why many people naturally become more spiritual, emotional, or introspective later in life. The soul slowly awakens from years of unconscious living. What feels like dissatisfaction is often the soul's way of saying, you were not created only to survive. You were created to awaken. This inner shift is not weakness. It is the beginning of spiritual maturity. Another hidden reason why life changes deeply after 40 is because unresolved inner patterns begin revealing themselves more clearly. In spiritual understanding, this is connected to karma. Karma is not punishment from the universe. It is simply the law of inner learning. Every emotional wound, fear, attachment, and unconscious behavior carries energy that continues affecting our life until we become aware of it. During youth, people stay busy chasing goals, relationships, money, and responsibilities, so they often ignore their inner pain. But as life slows down emotionally after 40, unresolved patterns begin surfacing more strongly. The same relationship problems repeat. The same emotional triggers appear again and again. Some people constantly seek approval because they never felt valued in childhood. Others fear abandonment and become emotionally controlling. Some avoid intimacy because past pain still lives inside them. Without awareness, people keep repeating these patterns for years while believing the problem is always outside them. But life keeps bringing similar lessons until true understanding is born. This is why painful experiences often increase spiritual growth later in life. A betrayal, divorce, loneliness, failure, or emotional breakdown can suddenly force a person to look inward honestly for the first time. Spiritually, these moments are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to awaken you. The soul wants freedom from unconscious suffering. According to deeper spiritual wisdom, destiny is not fixed forever. When awareness changes, your future also begins changing. The moment a person becomes conscious of their inner patterns, healing begins. Karma starts dissolving through understanding, forgiveness, prayer, self-awareness, and wiser choices. What once controlled your life slowly loses power. And this is why the second half of life can become spiritually transformative. The soul finally becomes ready to heal what the younger self could not understand. When your second life begins awakening after 40, the signs often appear quietly at first. You may suddenly feel drawn towards silence instead of noise. Crowded places and meaningless conversations begin draining your energy. Material success may no longer impress you the way it once did. You start seeking deeper peace rather than constant excitement. Many people begin spending more time alone, not because they hate others, but because the soul starts craving inner connection. You may also notice yourself thinking deeply late at night, reflecting on your life, your choices, your regrets, and your purpose. Questions arise naturally within the heart. What truly matters now? Am I living authentically? Why do I still feel restless? Sometimes this awakening comes through painful life experiences. A divorce may break the illusion of emotional security. A health problem may remind someone that life is temporary. Children growing older and leaving home may create an unexpected emptiness. The loss of parents may suddenly make a person aware of how quickly time passes. Even career success can trigger awakening when someone realizes achievement alone cannot bring lasting peace. There was once a man who spent most of his life building wealth and status. People admired him greatly. Yet deep inside he felt emotionally exhausted. One evening he sat alone in his beautiful house and realized he had everything except inner peace. That night changed him completely. He began meditation, reconnecting with nature, and healing old emotional wounds. Slowly, he discovered a happiness deeper than external success. This is how awakening often begins, not through comfort, but through inner realization. The soul uses life experiences to gently pull us away from superficial living and guide us toward deeper consciousness, compassion, wisdom, and spiritual truth. When this emotional and spiritual shift begins happening after 40, the most important thing is not to fear it. Many people panic because they believe they are losing themselves, but spiritually, they are actually beginning to find themselves. The first step toward healing is learning to sit peacefully with your inner world instead of constantly escaping it. Spend time in silence every day, even if only for a few minutes. Silence allows the mind to slow down so the soul can finally be heard. The second step is self-awareness. Instead of blaming life or other people for your pain, gently ask yourself, what is this experience trying to teach me? This simple question creates spiritual growth. Life becomes lighter when we stop resisting every lesson. Another important step is protecting your inner peace. After 40, many people naturally become more emotionally sensitive because the soul is awakening. Not every conflict deserves your energy. Not every relationship deserves unlimited access to your heart. Choosing peace over drama becomes an act of wisdom, not weakness. Spiritual practices also become deeply important during this phase of life. Meditation, prayer, gratitude, conscious breathing, reading uplifting wisdom, and spending time in nature slowly heal emotional restlessness. These practices reconnect you with the deeper self that existed long before fear, stress, and social pressure took over your mind. And perhaps the most healing step of all is forgiveness. Many people carry heavy regret after 40. They feel guilty for mistakes, lost years, failed relationships, or missed opportunities. But true spiritual healing never begins through self-hatred. It begins through compassion and awareness. Every experience, even painful ones, was preparing you for greater wisdom. Your past does not exist to imprison you. It exists to awaken you. Healing begins the moment you stop fighting yourself and start listening to your soul with kindness. The deepest spiritual truth about life after 40 is this: your soul slowly begins becoming more important than your social identity. For many years, people live mainly through external roles, career, status, responsibilities, achievements, and other people's opinions. But eventually, the soul becomes tired of performing endlessly for the world. A quiet awakening begins within. You start valuing peace more than approval, truth more than appearance, and inner freedom more than outer success. This transformation is one of the most sacred experiences a human being can go through. According to spiritual wisdom inspired by Paramahansa Yogananda, the purpose of life is not merely to accumulate material success, but to awaken spiritually and remember our deeper connection with the divine. This is why many people become calmer, wiser, and more compassionate during the second half of life. The ego slowly weakens, and the heart slowly opens. You begin understanding that real happiness cannot be bought, forced, or achieved through endless comparison. True peace comes from inner alignment. Awakening does not mean becoming perfect. It means becoming conscious. It means learning to observe your thoughts instead of becoming controlled by them. It means responding with wisdom instead of reacting with fear. It means seeing pain not only as suffering, but also as a teacher. And perhaps most importantly, It means realizing that your worth never depended on how much you achieved or how many people approved of you. Your true value has always existed within your soul. This is why life after 40 can become incredibly beautiful spiritually. The outer world may slow down, but the inner world becomes richer, deeper, and more meaningful. Your second life truly begins the moment you stop living only for the world and start living in harmony with your soul. As we come to the end of this journey together, remember this deeply within your heart. If you are feeling emotionally different after 40, it does not mean your life is falling apart. Perhaps for the very first time, your soul is asking you to slow down, reflect, and reconnect with what truly matters. The world may tell you that aging means losing something, but spiritual wisdom teaches something far more beautiful. Sometimes, the second half of life becomes the beginning of real understanding, real peace, and real awakening. The pain you experienced, the disappointments you carried, the loneliness, the emotional struggles, and the unanswered questions may all have been preparing you for a deeper version of yourself. And maybe now, your soul is finally ready to live consciously instead of mechanically. So tonight, before you sleep, sit quietly for a moment and ask yourself this simple but powerful question. Am I living only for the world? Or am I also listening to my soul? The answer may gently change the direction of your life. And if this message touched your heart in any way, please write a comment below and share what part of this video connected most deeply with you. Your experience may help another soul who is silently going through the same journey. And I would also love to know, what spiritual or life topic would you like the next video to explore? Your thoughts and suggestions truly matter here because this is not just a channel, it is a peaceful journey of awakening we are walking together. If these teachings bring comfort and clarity to your heart, gently subscribe, like, and share this video with someone who may need this message today. Until we meet again, may your path be filled with inner peace, wisdom, healing, and divine light. Jai Gurudev.